Good morning. Today we will start with fluid mechanics. We will start the first chapter, that is introduction and basic concepts. So in this chapter we present basic concepts commonly used in analysis of fluid flow. We start this chapter with a discussion of phases of matter and numerous ways of classification of fluid flows such as viscous versus inviscous regimes of flow, internal versus external flow, compressible versus incompressible flow, laminar versus turbulent flow, natural versus force flow, steady versus unsteady flow. We also discuss no slip condition at solid fluid interface and present a brief history of the development of fluid mechanics. After presenting the concept of system and control unit, we review the unit system that will be used. We then discuss how mathematically model for engineering problems are prepared and how to interpret the results obtained from the analysis of such models. So first we'll start with introduction. Fluid mechanics deals with liquids and gases in motion or at rest. So mechanics is the oldest physical science that deals with both stationary and moving bodies under the influence of force. The branch of mechanics that deals with the body at rest is called statics, while the branch that deals with the bodies in motion is called dynamics. The subcategory fluid mechanics is defined as the science that deals with the behavior of fluids at rest or in motion and the interaction of fluids and solids or other fluids at boundaries. Fluid mechanics is also referred to as fluid dynamics by considering fluids at rest is a special case of motion with zero velocity. Fluid mechanics itself is divided into several categories. The study of motion of fluids that are practically incompressible, such as liquids, especially water, and gases at low speeds, is usually referred to as hydrodynamics. A subcategory of hydrodynamics is hydraulics, which deals with liquid flows in pipes and open channels. Gas dynamics deals with the flow of fluids that undergo significant density changes, such as the flow of gases through nozzles at high speeds. The category aerodynamics deals with the flow of gases, especially air, over bodies such as aircraft, rockets, and automobiles at high or low speeds. Some other specialty categories such as metallurgy, oceanography, and hydrology deal with naturally occurring flows. What is a fluid? You will recall from physics that a substance exists in three primary phases: solid, liquid, and gas. At very high temperature, it also exists as a plasma. A substance in a liquid or a gas phase is referred to as a fluid. Distinction between a solid and a fluid is made on the basis of substance's ability to resist an applied shear or tangential stress that tends to change its shape. You can take here, this is deformed round, this is contact area. When you apply a force in this direction, this will deform. A solid can resist an applied shear stress by deforming, whereas a fluid deforms continuously under the influence of shear stress, no matter how small. In solid, stress is proportional to strain, but in fluids, stress is proportional to strain rate. When a constant shear force is applied, a solid eventually stops deforming at some fixed strain angle, whereas a fluid never stops deforming and approaches a certain rate of strain. So consider this rectangular block tightly placed between two plates, as upper plate is pulled with a force F while the lower plate is held fixed. The rubber block deforms, you can see deformation. The angle of deformation alpha, called the shear strain or angular displacement, increases in proportion to the applied force. The more is the force, the more is their alpha. Assuming there is no slip between the rubber and the plates, the upper surface of rubber is displaced by an amount equal to the displacement of upper plate. and the lower surface remains stationary. In equilibrium, the net force acting on the plate in a horizontal direction must be 0. So this is the position, and suppose at this position it is in equilibrium. So net force on this block is, if this is in equilibrium, it means the force in this direction, and you can say resistance within this block had balanced, and it is in equilibrium. So in equilibrium, the net force acting on the plate in a horizontal direction must be 0, and thus force equal and opposite to F must be acting on the plate. It means there is some force which is equal and opposite to this force which is acting on this plate, which hold this plate at the rest. So this opposing force that depends at the plate rubber interface due to friction is expressed as, so here at the interface, this is your opposing force. It is represented by force is equal to tau area, where tau is shear stress and A is contact area. So this is your shear stress and A is your contact area, and this is the force which is developed at this rubber and this plate interface. Now if you remove this force, this rubber will return to its original position back. So this phenomena will also observed with solid such as steel block. If you apply a force and does not exceed elastic range, the block will return to its original position. If this experiment were repeated with the fluid, with the two large plate parallels placed in a large body of water, for example, the fluid layer in contact with the upper plate would move with the plate continuously at the velocity of plate, no matter how small the force F is. The fluid velocity decreases with depth because of friction between fluid layers and reaching 0 at the lower plate. You will recall from statics that stress is defined as force per unit area and is determined by dividing the force by the area upon which acts. The normal component of force acting on a surface per unit area is called the normal stress, and the tangential component of force acting on a surface per unit area is called shear stress. In a fluid at rest, the normal stress is called pressure. So this is your pressure. The supporting walls of a fluid eliminate shear stress, and thus a fluid at rest is at a state of 0 shear stress. So this is, take this small area dA. This is the normal to the surface, and this is tangent to surface. Now normal stress is equal to Fn by dA, where shear stress is equal to Ft by dA. This is your shear stress, this is normal stress. So when the walls are removed or a liquid container is tilted, a shear develops and the liquid splashes or moves to attain a horizontal free surface. In a liquid, chunks of molecules can move related to each other, but the volume remains relatively constant because of the strong cohesive force between the molecules. So you can see here, this is your container, this is your free space. The liquid takes the container shape in the gravitational field. A gas, on the other hand, expands until it encounters the wall of container and fills the entire available space. This is because the gas molecules are very widely spaced and the cohesive forces between them are very small. On liquid gases cannot form a free space. A spot appears to behave as solid since it resists shear stress for short periods of time, but deforms slowly and behaves like a fluid when these forces are exerted for extended periods of time. Some plastics, lead and slurry mixture exhibit similar behavior. Such borderline cases are beyond the scope of this text. The fluids we will deal with in the text will be clearly recognized as fluids. You can see here, the molecules in solids are arranged in a well-ordered manner in repeated pattern throughout, while in case of your liquids, the molecules cluster can move, while here in the gases, they can move about random in the gas phase. The molecular spacing in the liquid phase is not much different from that of solid phase, except the molecules are no longer at fixed positions, relative to each other, and they can rotate and translate freely. In a liquid, the intermolecular forces are weaker relative to solids, but still strong compared with gases. The distances between molecules generally increase slightly as solid turns liquids, with water being a notable exception. In a gas phase, molecules are far apart from each other and a molecular order is non-existent. Gas molecules move about at random, continually colliding with each other and the walls of container in which they are contained. So you can see here, this is a container. On a macroscopic scale, pressure is determined by interaction of individual gas molecules. However, we can measure the pressure on a microscopic scale with a pressure gauge. Molecules in gas phase are at a considerably higher energy level than they are in liquid or solid phase. Therefore, the gas must release a large amount of its energy before it can condense or freeze. Gas and vapor are often used as synonymous words. The vapor phase of the substance is customarily called a gas when it is above the critical temperature. Vapor usually implies a gas that is not far from the state of condensation. Any practical fluid system consists of a large number of molecules, and the properties of the system naturally depend on the behavior of these molecules. For example, the pressure of a gas in a container is the result of momentum transfer between the molecules and the walls of the container. However, one does need not to know the behavior of gas molecules to determine the pressure in the container. It would be sufficient to attach a pressure gauge to the container. This macroscopic or classical approach does not require a knowledge of the behavior of individual molecules and provides a direct and easy way to the solution of engineering problems. Application areas of fluid mechanics. Fluid mechanics is widely used both in everyday activities and in the design of modern engineering systems, from vacuum cleaners to supersonic aircraft. Therefore, it is important to develop a good understanding of the basic principle of fluid mechanics. To begin with, fluid mechanics play a vital role in the human body. The heart is constantly pumping blood to all parts of human body through the arteries and veins, and the lungs are the sites of airflow in altering directions. Needless to say, all artificial hearts, breathing machines, and dialysis systems are designed using fluid dynamics. An ordinary house is in some respects an exhibition hall filled with applications of fluid mechanics. The piping systems for cold water, natural gas and sewage for an individual house and the entire city are designed primarily on the basis of fluid mechanics. The same is also true for the piping and ducting network of heating and air conditioning systems. A refrigerator involves tubes through which the refrigerant flows, a compressor that pressurizes the refrigerant, and a two-heat exchanger where the refrigerant absorbs and rejects heat. Fluid mechanics plays a major role in the design of all the components. Even the operation of ordinary taps is based on fluid mechanics. Fuel tank to cylinders, the fuel line, fuel pump, fuel injectors or carburetors, as well as mixing of fuel and the air in cylinders and the purging of combustion gases in exhaust pipes are analyzed using fluid mechanics. Fluid mechanics is also used in design of the heating and air conditioning system, the hydraulic brakes, the power steering, automatic transmission and lubrication systems, the cooling system of the engine block including the radiator and the water pump, and even the tires. The sleek streamlined shape of recent model cars is the result of efforts to minimize drag by using extensive analysis of flow over surface. On a broader scale, fluid mechanics play a major part in design and analysis of aircraft, boats, submarines, rockets, jet propulsion engines, wind turbines, biomedical devices, and cooling of electronic components, and the transportation of water, crude oil, and natural gas. It is also considered in the design of buildings, bridges, and even billboards to make sure that the structure can withstand the wind loading. Numerous natural phenomena such as the rain cycle, weather pattern, and rise of groundwater to the top of trees, winds, ocean waves, and currents in large water bodies are also governed by principles of fluid mechanics. So you can see this all application will include fluid mechanics. You can see car radiator. This is industry application, piping and plumbing system in wind turbines and power plants. This is up to here about the application of fluid mechanics. Subscribe this channel, like this video, and thank you for watching this video.